direct link is between the thing being given. Okay? I talk to him. What's being talked? What's being said? The language, the conversation. So French, I speak it. This is direct because you are speaking French. That's what's being spoken. I tell him, you might go, yeah, well, he's the thing being told. He's not the thing being told. You're telling a story, a joke, an anecdote to someone else. So you will really come to learn the difference between direct and indirect, but the main thing for now is just to realise that if you can imagine something else being in the sentence, then the word you're on about is going to have to be indirect. Okay? And another general guide is if they're verbs of communication or exchange, they're going to tend to be indirect. So let's crack on. So, here's the good bit. When you're using reflexive or direct or indirect, me and te and nous and vous are going to be the same. They're going to be exactly the same. Yeah? He sees me, the verb to see is voir, so the soft would be voir. So he sees me, il me voit. Okay, I am directly being seen by him, il me voit. He gives me a letter, whatever. So the thing being given is the letter, so he's giving something to me, so this is indirect. Il me donne une, can I get it in? Lettre. Okay, il me donne une lettre. Same word. He gives you, il te donne. Yeah? He loves you. Verb to love, aimer, so open mouth. Aime, he loves you, il t'aime. Okay? So we're going to use the te one. He gives to you, il te donne. So basically, we only change between te and t on whether or not the verb starts with a vowel, an open mouth. But it's going to be the same for all of those four. So the only ones where we need to be thinking about whether or not they are reflexive or direct or indirect is going to be the third people, the he, she, it. Okay? The he, she, it, them people, the third people, the away ones. Okay? So now let's look at the difference. So take your left hand and snap. This is the direct. This is when you're doing something directly to somebody. And this is going to be the words the. What is the masculine word, the article? What is the masculine word the? Le. Yeah? L-E. We're going to do direct. Le. Let's do, yeah, le. What is the feminine word the? La. What is the plural word the? Les. And this can become L apostrophe, L apostrophe. So if you are doing something directly to it, to him, to her, I want you to think that the direct idea is a simple idea, le, la, les. So I eat it. Let's assume we were talking about a masculine thing. I, it, eat. You've already worked out that these words come before the verb. So je le mange. Yeah, so let's say I eat it. Can you still see there? Yes, you can. So I eat it. Je le mange. Okay? I like it. Or I like him. I love him. We're going to have je le. M is going to be joined together to make je l'aime. Because again, we've got an open mouth and a vowel. I love them. What's my word? So, who's being loved? Are they being loved to someone? Are they being loved directly? Directly, so I need a the word. With directly, I need a the word. So I love them, je les aime, which is going to become je les aime with pronunciation. So let's read that one. Je les aime. So this les is going to be pronounced les and les when you've got a vowel after it. So I open, j'ouvre, I open them, je les ouvre. Okay? Better to do the links. So, we've lost the board rubber. Moving on. Take your hand and and now point, this is the to somebody. Or incidentally, we also use this for somebody as well, but this is indirectly. So the person in your sentence is when they are involved in the sentence, but there's something else involved more in the sentence. We'll explain this. Okay? So, first things first, to him, and I hate to stress and obsess on the word to, but this does help in this situation. So him, or to him, which is the longer word? To him in English, so I'm looking for a longer word in French. Well, it's two words, but you see what I mean. Him, to him, the to him is longer. Them, to them, the to them is longer. So we're looking for longer words in French to express this. Which is an easier idea? I see him, or I speak to him. Which is a more complicated idea? The to him. So I'm looking for a longer word, more complicated idea. So, let's do them. Let's change pen. The indirect is lui. Yes, same word as you have at the end for with him. To her, lui. Yes, the same word. So when it comes in the middle of the sentence, to him and to her is the same word. So I speak to him, je lui parle. I speak to her, je lui parle. No difference. You have to use other things in your sentence to make that point. Okay? I speak to them. The word is going to be leur. Okay? Leur. I give them a letter. What in the sentence is being given? The letter. So you hear I give them, but are they being given directly? Is it them that are being given, or is something being given to them? Something is being given to them. They are involved in the sentence, but indirectly. Yeah, there's something else more direct. The letter is being given, not them. So I give them, is it going to be les or leur? For the indirect, it's going to be leur. Je leur donne. Okay? Je leur donne. Okay? So, the basic thing to remember with all of this, okay, is that you have no decision making whatsoever unless you're dealing with he, she and they. Everybody else will be me, te, nous, vous, or mut, nous, vous. Okay? It is just the he and the she and the they. So let's do some examples. So you've got this down now. Okay, you've got this down now. I'm going to wipe this off the board. Okay. If you need to look at it again, just scroll back. We're going to do some examples. Okay, so all you need to remember is my direct words are the words, le, la, les, just the same as if you were saying the woman, the man, the papers, le, la, les. Lui is to him, and leur is a word you've already seen, I imagine, for their house, leur maison. So you know these words in the context. Se for self, it's the only one you need to remember. So these are going to go. So, we've pretty much talked about how you're going to have the word before the verb. So in the other video that I recently popped on, which I recommend you look at, which is called The Best Method for Pronoun Order, it's telling us that unless you are dealing with the to form of the verb, the long form of the verb, you're going to use all these little bits first. So I, him, she, me, loves. You're going to put all the bits together, and then you're going to put all the verbs together. So this method I call bit box for relationships and verb box. Okay? So it's a really good idea. Now you can have one thing in the bit box or more things, and you can have one verb in the verb box or more things. So this is a really good way of looking at things. Unless you hear the word to. So if we had he washes himself, what's he? Il. So you always have to start with the person doing the sentence. What's the verb? Wash, lave. I've got he washes himself. Himself isn't a verb, so it has to go in the bit box. Il se lave. Il se lave. Okay? he speaks to himself. Il se parle. We could go parle there. Okay. He speaks to me. So what's he speaks? Il parle. To me is me a bit or a verb? It's a bit, so il me parle. Okay? He loves me. What's the verb love? Il aime. Yeah? So il aime. Il me aime. Oh, we can't have that because that's two vowels together, so we have il m'aime. Now those of you that know me would know that's quite a visual way of doing this for me, because I like sound. So you can do this mentally. So all the little bits, so who's doing the verb? Il. Who's having it done to them? Me. So he, me, il me. Verb aime, il me aime. And that you now also know, say it without the pronoun. Il aime, il m'aime. Try and go in that way. So those of you that really want to progress, that's the best method of doing it. Okay? Let's just do a couple more. So he talks to, I'm just going to do the varieties just so that you can see what they are. So he buys, il achète, he buys it, il l'achète. Did we know whether the it was masculine or feminine? No, we didn't, and we didn't care. We didn't care because our word started with a vowel. So il l'achète. He loves them. What he loves? Il aime, he loves them. Now, who's being loved in the sentence? Them. Yeah, it's direct. So what's the direct word for the? What's the plural word for the? Direct is the. Il les aime, so il les aime. Il les aime. Okay? He loved them, or he used to love them. Okay? So you know the was tense. A. So he loved them. Il les aimait. I can change my verb. He will love them. Who cares? Get the bits done first. Il les aimera. Yeah, those of you that don't know the future, re, ra, ron, please go and look at the future video. Okay? He loved as an action them. Let's go with the past rather than he used to love them. Okay? So he loved, how many words in my action? Il a aimé. So if we looked at that, okay, il a aimé. Okay, il a aimé is he loved. So if I didn't have anything else there, just he loved. If I had to separate the sentence il a aimé, I'd have he in the bit box, because it's not a verb, and in the verb box I'd have two words. So if I then put he loved them, because he's loving them, not to them, il les a aimés, I'm going to have an S there because of aimé, or I could even have an E there if it were a feminine thing. Don't be worrying about that. That video is called previous, it's called two things. It's objet précédent direct, so previous direct object, preceding direct object, but it's also now called complément d'objet direct, and all of this business. So the name is kind of changing. It used to be called the direct object, the preceding direct object in French. It's now called the complement. But the fact is, there's a video on it. Okay? So, il les a aimés. Let's do another one. So, he saw me. What would be he saw? Il a vu. I've got two things in my bits box. He saw me, in my verb box. He saw me. Il me a vu, which is going to have to become m'a, because obviously this starts with a vowel. He had seen me. Il m'avait vu. Okay? Again, if that were feminine, you'd have an E. Now, let's quickly try and use this method with the other method we used the other day, which is when we have a long form. So this is when you've got a to form in the verb. And you can have two in the sentence. Now, I have to stress you can have two infinitives. I am going to speak. Je vais parler. I'm going to try to speak. Je vais essayer de. Essayer always has a de after it. Parler. Okay? I'm going to finish. Je vais finir, long form. I'm going to have to finish. Je vais devoir finir. You have two long forms. So if you have two long forms, these little